Hello and welcome back to The Growth Show. I'm your host, Whitney Bateson, and we are doing another solo episode together. So I wanted to talk about just a mid-year check-in. So I did an end-of-year recap in episode 42, if you want to check that one out. And I was just re-looking at it and seeing, okay, what was it that I was talking about? And I was recapping 2024, and then I was talking about what was ahead for us in 2025 in the business and some goals I had. So my goal continues to be for this year to help 50 entrepreneurs with their websites and getting them into our program, the Wellness Pro website system, and help them launch their site. So I'll give a little status update on where we are with that. I said that I wanted to be looking at data to make improvements and see where we can be increasing conversions, increasing value for our customers. Like, where are there any gaps that we need to be filling, either in our marketing or in our service delivery? And so just digging in a little bit more to the facts in the business. And then I mentioned that I was starting to invest in ads. And I also had some travel and life goals. So if you do want to go back and listen to it, you can. But otherwise, I'm just going to dive right in and tell you where we are for the year. So in terms of the number of people who have joined WPWS so far this year to launch their websites with us, we have had 20 people come through, which is wonderful. Last year, we've been having about 35 people come into the program each year for the past 2 years. So 50 may be a bit of a stretch, but I'm just going to keep that goal until we hit it. And so I just hope, and I'm hoping and wanting to at least go past our numbers from last year and reach more people. And honestly, and this kind of goes into what I'm doing with ads, the biggest challenge, and I think this is for all businesses, is just visibility and getting your business in front of more people, in front of the right people, because I know that our program works. I know that it's valuable. And honestly, I want to talk about the launch that we just wrapped up too about a month ago. Such a big shift that I had in that launch was just that I really believed that we needed to be in front of the right people. And when we were in front of the right people, our program was the perfect fit for them. And it allowed me to show up more. We sent more emails to our list during that time. We communicated with people more because I realized I used to really feel like, oh, I don't want to bug people too much. I don't want to send them too many emails. I don't want people to unsubscribe. And then I had this flip of understanding of, if I don't send the reminder emails and I don't let people know about the program, if I don't teach them about the program in my emails and explain it and address any of their concerns or frustrations, or letting them know that I understand where they're coming from and how my program can actually help them and what's included in it and all of that, if I'm not sharing all of that information, then the people that actually need my program, that it's going to be so perfectly great for them, it's something that they've been looking for. Maybe they didn't even know that this is what they were looking for, but they knew they needed a website. They really wanted one. They hadn't found the right solution out there yet. And my program is the perfect solution. But if I'm too scared or having some kind of feelings about how much I communicate with those people and show up in their inboxes, then they're not going to hear about it, because it is busy out there, right? I still think email marketing, and many marketers agree that email marketing is just such a great way to connect with your customers, no matter what kind of business you're in. But it can still be really busy and crowded in people's inboxes. And so not everyone is going to read every email you send, especially when you are doing a promotion or a sale or a launch of something. You just have to keep in mind that people don't see every email. And sometimes maybe they'll binge a couple of your emails. Maybe they're busy earlier in the week and you sent a couple emails, and they're going to need to read those emails because they're interested in your product. So anyway, that's a bit of a tangent. But I just realized that I really needed to be communicating to those people that I knew I was the right fit for, and not worrying so much about all those other people that it's not the right fit for what my messaging was doing. Because if it wasn't the right fit, they're going to unsubscribe, they're going to leave my list, and that's fine. Because just like anything, service providers, they're not a perfect solution for everyone. They're a perfect solution for some people. But what happens is that we need to be in front of as many people as possible who are our right fit. And I know that's a challenge for many of you listening too, is just how do I get in front of people? How do I stay visible with SEO changing and search engine rankings changing and algorithms changing on social media platforms and which platform should I be on and all of that? It can feel very overwhelming. It can feel a bit like we don't have a lot of control over where we're showing up in front of our customers and how we're showing up, and a lot of guessing and unknowns. And I feel you. I'm there too. And one of the reasons that I'm investing in ads is because organic growth for me, so unpaid growth and getting people onto my email list and being seen, it just wasn't getting me as far. I really want to scale now, and I want to be in front of more audiences, be in front of more people, have more people seeing our offering. But the only reason that and maybe I'll do another episode about ads. I am no ads expert. I would say I'm much more aware of it than I was a year ago. I'm never going to be giving you a podcast teaching you how to do ads because that's not my specialty. We can definitely have someone on here to talk about ads if that feels good. But one of the reasons that I'm doing ads now is because I know that my program sells. We've done it enough times. We know our conversion rates. Granted, when you're doing ads, you have more cold audiences. So people that don't know you, they're strangers. So those people are probably not going to be ready to buy from you right away. And so those conversion rates on cold traffic coming in from ads probably going to be a little bit lower than what your warm traffic is. Someone who came from a referral source or who saw you at a talk and joined your email list. That's going to be a warmer person. There's going to be more trust there. They're going to know you a little bit already. So the conversion rate is going to be a little bit higher there. But still, you can have this understanding because with ads, you need to know how much am I willing to spend to break even or make money. And if you are not sure that your current product is going to convert at a certain rate, then it's really hard to plan how much you're spending. And also, it can end up costing you a lot of money before you actually see any sales. And we want to have some of our funnel, that process of, okay, that person saw the ad and then they get emails, they get pitched to, and then they move into becoming a customer of yours. We want that funnel to already have been tested and be pretty good. We may have some things that we adjust over time. We are constantly tweaking our emails, tweaking my webinars, my trainings, and all of that. But you want to have some of that background. So definitely don't recommend going into ads too early before you have validated your product and validated that, generally speaking, it is going to sell to people. And what you're really looking for with ads is to just get in front of more people and have that conversion rate of 3% or 1%. Instead of it only going to 100 people, you're going to 1,000 people. So therefore, if you can keep that conversion rate the same, you're going to have more sales on the back end. But you need to know those numbers and be able to track it and all of that. So we did some stuff at the beginning of the year with ads. We're still learning. Spent a little bit more on ads than it felt really comfortable to do. And it's fine. And we did end up seeing some great results, but it took time. And that's one of the other challenges when it comes to ads, and especially a program like ours, where it is a higher cost. It's not a $50 program. It's not a $10 template. It takes time for people to really feel ready. They maybe need to learn about WPWS a few times and come to my trainings a few times and be on my email list for 6 months to a year sometimes. And so therefore, we can't just spend ads money and then, okay, yeah, it definitely paid off. So it can be a little risky and a little tricky to be spending money now and waiting 6 months to see if it pays off. You generally don't want to do that. You want to liquidate some of your spend. And anyway, I didn't mean this to be a whole ad diatribe, but I joined a mastermind with Claire Pelletreau. So if you've heard of her before, she is wonderful with ads. I listened to her podcast, Get Paid. I think it's Get Paid Marketing, or it's just Get Paid. Her program is called Get Paid Marketing. And we're learning about ads. We're getting a lot of feedback on ads, on messaging, on not necessarily our offer, but how we're positioning and messaging within our funnel. So I think that's also interesting when you're building your business. There's lots of like different things that you want to be figuring out and working on. And some things can be around your systems and how are you selling? How are you running discovery calls? What's your sales process? Another thing is what are your offers? How are you putting together a package that's going to solve a problem for your customer and it's going to address all of their pain points, all their objections? What is that offer and how are you talking about it? How are you positioning it to them so that your customer is really feeling, oh, yes, this is the exact solution that I need? So you need to have those things. You need to have a process of how you're going to collect money and get people on board as clients. You need to have that product that you're going to sell and how is it going to be talked about and put together in a nice package that someone's going to understand and get and want to buy. And even if you're doing nutrition counseling or therapy, I still think that having a packaged offer is so valuable because it is so clear, or it can be really clear to the end customer that this is the thing that's going to solve my problem versus selling a bunch of sessions where, okay, is this going to address my problem? There's definitely some business models where just selling ongoing sessions is fine. But if you're helping someone solve a specific problem, then it's probably better to have a specific protocol or package that you're going to offer them. Maybe you're going to have a few different tiers or offerings and mixtures of different things that are included, but I wouldn't say you need to have a lot of them. I think even one signature. I have my one program. I don't have anything more that I'm selling aside from the Wellness Pro website system. So I think that makes it easy. So you need to have that. And then you need to figure out how you're actually going to market and promote and sell that program. And then how are you going to get more visibility and more people to see your offer and come into that marketing funnel and that marketing process. So I've worked with coaches before on how to position my program. I had a business coach when I started that helped me with my sales processes and coaching me through selling and setting up my systems and just understanding my business and contracts and team management and all those kinds of dynamics. And now I've moved into working with someone who is focused even more on the scaling aspect and how to grow visibility because I have built some things already that are working pretty well, could be tweaked a little bit more, of course, always, and optimized. But how are we then scaling from there? So I think it's totally normal to be pulling in different resources at different times within your business. I think sometimes I stick with someone for too long and I say, okay, I'm going to just work with this coach. I had a business coach who was wonderful and I worked with her for a very long time, but I think I probably was just, okay, I'm just going to stick with her when I could have been looking at some other resources and tools as well to work on different parts of my business. Now I'm in this mastermind. It's a year-long mastermind. Claire is awesome. Her team is awesome. I'm excited about it. I was also able to bring in one of my team members into the program too, which is super helpful because I just can't possibly be that filter of, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. And then I have to convey it to my team members for them to execute and implement. I just became a bottleneck. So that was really cool. And that's something I will say, plug about the Wellness Pro website system. If you have someone on your team who you want to be helping you with getting your website up, and especially like I would say, if you're thinking about hiring a virtual assistant or you want to have someone who's doing some more of like they're doing your social media or they're doing some blog posting for you, some back-end admin work. They're like a technical VA. Maybe they're sending out your emails or setting up lead magnets for you, doing some automations, whatever the case may be. If you want them to come into the program, you can do that. We've definitely had people do that. Either they can log in under you or we can give them a second username and then they can come in and implement things. They can come to the calls. They can ask questions. So I love programs that allow business owners to bring in their teams because it just makes everything so much more efficient. And it also ensures that both of you are on the same page about what direction we're going in. because if they're hearing the same thing that you're hearing on a call, or they're watching the same videos that you're watching, then we're all marching to the beat of the same drum, as opposed to, okay, they're trying to learn ads over here, you're learning ads over here. And everyone has a different approach to ads, to selling, to business, marketing, all of it. So if you're getting advice from two different places, then there could be some conflict or things that just don't jive. So it's really great when you can have your team in a program with you. Okay, where was I? Yeah, so we have 20 people in WPWS so far. We wrapped up our launch. It went really well. Of course, I had my high reach goals, and then I had my normal goals. And so we did very well. I'm very excited to have the people in the program that we have right now, and they're working through their websites. And it's just really great to see people getting their businesses off the ground. These entrepreneurs, some of them are pivoting into a different frame for their business, or they're redoing their branding, or they are just like shedding their old website that like was not serving them and coming up with a new one. So all of that is really great. And now what we're doing looking ahead is we are doing more ads and doing list building and working within Claire's program to just continue to figure out what ads we should be running, optimizing them, doing some different funnels, working on an evergreen funnel as well. And yeah, so it's a busy time. There's like a ton of stuff on the to-do list, as always, but I'm hopeful and excited. We're doing some different things than we've done in the past, and I think that's good. I've also really wanted to try and experiment more quickly and not have the bets be so big. It can be really tough when we only launch a few times a year. And so that's only a few opportunities to either get it right or get it wrong, and to experiment and try different things. So I like the opportunity to test things out more frequently throughout the year and on smaller tests, so that we can really see what's working and what's not working. And I would say, hopefully some of what I'm sharing can apply to you as well. I know many of you are probably not running ads, and maybe you really never want to. And I think that's fine too. If you can get enough visibility and people checking out your business and finding your business through networking and referrals and even being listed in directories, it always ends with your website. It's always sending people to your website. It's just how you're getting in front of people. If you can be doing more of those relationship-based things, I think that is amazing. I think you should be working on building your email list, but if you can build it organically without ads, that's great too. You can be going into online communities and sharing your resources. This is something we talked about in the group about a week or two ago. Just different ideas about how to be building your list, how to be getting visibility for your business and your website once it launches. Because there are a lot of things I think I was talking with someone recently about the hunting versus the farming versus the hunting. And farming is like doing SEO and blogging and some more of these long-term, even social media is a bit more of a farming activity where you're planting the seeds and eventually it's going to pay off. Whereas the hunting is going out and building those connections with people and getting people giving them your link, whether it's to your lead magnet or to your website, and having them come to your website and check you out and see it. So there's no right or wrong way when it comes to getting visibility for your business, but there's definitely things that can pay off more quickly and things that you might want to be doing more on like long-term, kind of in the background, that are going to be making a difference, but maybe are not going to be giving you those immediate payoffs of new discovery calls on your calendar or more clients coming in right away. Things take time. People need time to make decisions. We want to give them those opportunities to move quickly, but we also need to recognize that a lot of people are just going to need more time, but you need to stay in touch with them through your email list to really keep that going. Lots of different ways to get visible, and it's really about picking like what feels good to you as well. For me, being on social media is just not something I enjoy. I really like doing the podcast. And so that's what I do. And we repurpose the content into our emails, into a post on our website, into social media posts as well. We put them on LinkedIn. We put the video on YouTube. So we put it in a lot of different places, but this is the thing that I really enjoy doing. and it allows me to continue to stay visible, connect with other service providers, and connect with you, of course, and hopefully give you some food for thought and things that you can keep working on in your own business. And so anyway, I will stop rambling about all of that. The other thing that I will say that was really beneficial through the launch this last time was that I really focused on being more clear about what our program is and how it solves that problem of getting a website up that looks professional and that you know how to edit in the future, and like how we make it as easy as possible. And everyone is going to have a different product and a different offering and all of that. But I think always be seeking what is that clearest way to explain what it is I do, what problem I solve, how my program is different and makes things easier. I've been selling this for many years now, and what I started on with the messaging is different than where it is now. And who knows, in a year from now, the messaging might be different still. So don't think that everyone just has it figured out, or that you can't change it, or that everyone is going to just instantly understand what it is that you're selling and offering and helping people with. Always be seeking to understand when you're having conversations with people or getting feedback after you've done a promotion, and maybe even just asking people, why didn't you buy? Why didn't you take me up on the offer? Just to find out, like, what are some of the issues and the disconnects here with people maybe just not understanding what it is that you're offering yet, and you just need to get clear. So I think that was something that was really helpful that we worked on a lot this last time. And let's see. So as I've already talked about, I've got my little agenda here. In terms of what we're learning from ads, one of the things that I've learned that was just interesting to me in an aha moment, a lot of people will have an evergreen funnel going on. And an evergreen funnel is something that's running. It has some kind of, like, it's usually a training at the front of it, some kind of meaty educational component that is also then selling your product or offering. And for most people, that evergreen funnel, you're not going to be getting a ton of sales from it, but the goal that I've learned is that you want to have it be just neutralizing the cost. So if my program is $3,000, if I spent $3,000 to get that a $3,000 sale, then I should be happy with that. And then the additional people that stayed on my list after, because I spent $3,000 to get a ton of leads into my funnel and onto my email list and all of that. Only one of them bought, but then the hope and goal is that more of those leads will then convert into buyers in the future. And I think that's a few things there that are interesting when it comes to like email marketing in general, and this idea that we're expecting that we need to be nurturing people on our email list. And we've talked about it on the podcast before, but we want to be giving them inspirational content, educational content. We want to be talking about what we actually do and how we can help people, and inviting them to book a call or schedule a consultation or apply to your program, something like that. We also want to be sharing testimonials and answering common questions, addressing objections that they might have about working with you. So there's all these different kinds of things that we can be giving to people over that time, because we know that people need that time. But when it comes to ads, we do want to be recouping some of those costs. And that was just like an interesting aha for me, that we do want to be making a return on our ad spend in multiples of what we spend during a launch. But when it's for evergreen, at least this is my understanding today, we're not necessarily expecting to make a ton of money off of the evergreen funnel. We are just expecting it to break even and grow our list for free, is what Claire has said, and then pick up those people later on down the line. So I think it's interesting because just ads, to me, at least in the past, were so scary and so intimidating, and I didn't understand it. And I was even just watching a TikTok and someone was talking about ads, and I understood what she was talking about finally. But I'm like, I don't think I would have understood what she was talking about 6 months ago. So it is something that's new to me. I'm trying to be as cautious as possible, because I think obviously you can throw away a lot of money really quickly if you don't know what you're doing, or you're not paying attention to the right things. And so I think having the program them in is helpful. I chose this route as opposed to outsourcing it because I really do want to understand what to look at, how to control my outcomes, how to grow. I think it's going to be a big part of our growth moving forward. So I think it's really important for me to know it. And it's not been without frustrations and overwhelm and all of that. And so just anyone who is learning anything new in their business right now, maybe you are learning how to set up your email marketing system and send emails, or maybe you're setting up and creating your first lead magnet, or maybe you're trying to come up with your packages and your service offerings, and it's feeling overwhelming and difficult. And you just wish someone else would do it for you, or you could hire a copywriter or a tech VA to figure it all out. And there is definitely a time to have people come in and help you, but there's also a time for you to learn it too as a business owner. I just have to say that. Okay, so let's wrap it all up here with a little bit of fun and a little bit of travel, life updates, and all of that. At the end of last year, I said that we were looking at potentially buying a place. And at the time, we were looking at places in Medellin, Colombia. We did not end up buying anything for a variety of reasons, but I'm glad we didn't because we're still trying to figure out that perfect place. And for us, we're not going to settle down necessarily wherever we go, but we are looking for somewhere where we can stay maybe 6 months of the year and put it on Airbnb or have it rented out when we're not there, and have it also potentially be a place that we would want to get residence in and potentially even get a second passport in that place. So obviously there are a lot of factors that go into making that decision. We are researching it. Dylan is taking the lead on doing all that research. God bless him. It's a lot. But at least what we're doing right now is we're trying to slow down a little bit and go back to some of the places that we've been before. So right now I am recording this in Belgium. We had never been to Belgium before, but we loved it here. So we're mixing in places that are new with places that are familiar. So after here in Belgium, so we'll be here for 2 months, and then we're going to Lisbon after this. So we're going to revisit Lisbon. We've been to Lisbon, I think, once a year, every year for the past 6 or 7 years, maybe not counting the pandemic. We go back there because we have friends there. We know Portugal, we know Lisbon very well. So it's very easy to go back there. It's not like we have to figure a lot of things out. And then we're going to be going back to Brazil. And we're actually going back to stay in the same house that we were in the last time we were there at the beginning of this year. So if you watched any of my Instagram stories and saw all the monkeys and the toucans and all of that, hopefully we will have more of that content because we are going back there and we're excited about that. And then after that, we don't really know. We don't know yet where we're going to go, but that brings us into mid-December, which is pretty good. But now we are planning the kind of holiday leg of our journeys and we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's fun. We're feeling a little bit like we still love going to all the new places, but definitely wanting some friends and family and community and all of that, potentially slowing down more. And like I said, going back to places that we've been before. So we'll see how it unfolds. Keep watching my stories. That's where I put all of the highlights and updates. And yeah, if you ever have any questions about traveling, or if you're looking to work remotely occasionally or full time, I'm always an open book when it comes to that. And yeah, I think that's about it in terms of my update. So for the rest of the year, so it's now almost August. I cannot believe how fast this year has gone by. We will be opening doors to the Wellness Pro website system another time later this year. So if you are thinking about joining, you've been hearing me talk about it, maybe you've seen me come to one of my trainings before and now it's feeling like it might be the right time, go to wellnessprowebsite.com to get on the wait list. And then the other things that I will also mention is if you're in that mode right now of still trying to figure out your services a little bit and how you're positioning things, I do have a resource that has been pretty popular that we've shared a lot in the past. It's a surface mapping workbook, and it's also about how to organize your services on your website. but it also is talking about your ideal customer and just what your services are and how you would be positioning them and all of that. So if you want that, go to whitneybateson.com/mapmyservices. Also, if you just go to whitneybateson.com, go to the resources page on the site, you'll find it there. We have some other great resources too, so feel free to dig into all of those. But if there's anything that I can do to help you, if there's other things that you'd like me to talk about on the podcast, if you do want more content as it relates to ads or more about visibility, anything, please let me know. I'm all ears. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram if you'd like, at Whitney Bateson. That's a great way to just send me like casual notes. Even though I'm not posting on there a whole lot, I'm still on there. So just lurking. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Thank you so much for listening to my rambling update and my thoughts about ads and selling and all of that. And if you have a colleague who you think might benefit from listening to the podcast, please share it. Leave us a review. We always really appreciate that. And I will catch you on the next episode of The Growth Show. Thanks.